Hello guys, welcome back. The current IT industry needs a full stack developer, means a person who is having operating system knowledge, who is having UI design experience, who is having the business logic, can write the business logic, who can also design and write the database codes. So today in this video, we are going to see a similar kind of a stack that's called LAMP stack. That means Linux, Apache, MySQL DB or MariaDB and PHP LAMP stack. So we'll see how we can install the complete LAMP stack and then set up and deploy our applications and websites and see how it is working. Okay, so before installing the LAMP stack, let's see what exactly the LAMP stack is. Okay, if you have not subscribed my channel, please do subscribe now so that you'll get notified whenever I add more videos on the automations. Please don't forget to like and share the video. So let's see what is a LAMP stack. A LAMP stack is a set of open source software that can be used to create websites and web applications. So LAMP is an acronym, and these stacks typically consist of Linux operating system, the Apache HTTP server, the MySQL relational database management system, and the PHP programming language. Okay, so I'll completely show you step by step how we can install all these softwares in our server, Linux server, and then I'll show you how we can deploy the web application and access it. Also, we'll see how we can play around with the databases. So let's start. This is the server where I'm going to install all the softwares. Okay, so let's first install the HTTP server, Apache HTTP server. So before installing any softwares or anything, let me first update the operating system. Okay, so what is the command to do that? We can use sudo yum update -yes. Okay, so there was only Amazon 2.core and no packages marked for update. Fine, so all clear. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to install the Apache server. Okay, so let me use again sudo yum install httpd. So yum is the package manager for Amazon Linux. Okay, one more thing, I'm just going to tell you, I am using Amazon Linux 2 operating system. Okay, so for Amazon Linux 2, the package manager is yum httpd and -yes. Cool. So now you can see the Apache server has been installed successfully. Okay, so what we do next, let's see whether we have access to the Apache server or not. So to that, let me start with the Apache server first. So what we can use sudo systemctl system control command. Okay, systemctl start httpd. So I'm going to start the httpd service. Okay, let's see the status. Okay, we can see here the server is running. So how can I access it? Just grab the IP address of the server. Okay, just grab the IP address of the server. So this is the IP address of the server. So if I just go here and just paste it here, now we can see I can able to access the Apache web server. Okay, so this is the web server we installed now. Now let's go ahead and install PHP. Okay, how we'll do it? So we can use sudo yum install PHP, and I can also install PHP MySQL package. Okay, so two packages I'm going to install. One is PHP, another one is PHP MySQL. Okay, type in yes. Cool. So both the packages have been installed now. Okay, so how we can see that whether the PHP has been installed successfully or not? So what we can do, we can simply go to the web server's root folder. So for Apache web server, root folder is var www/html. So here what I can do, I can create one file, okay, called like something php-info.php. Just put the PHP code here. Okay, so here I'm going to write the method php-info. Okay, so what it will do, it will display the PHP informations on the web server if PHP is installed successfully. Now let's restart the Apache server. Sudo systemctl restart httpd. Okay, so once we restart the httpd server, just get the IP address, okay, and here just put the IP address and /php info.php. okay, hit enter. See, we can see here the PHP is installed successfully and we can see all the information related PHP. Now our PHP is installed successfully. So now let's move on and install the MariaDB or MySQL database on our server. Okay, so I have few commands captured for installations of MariaDB. Actually, it's quite difficult to remember, so I have noted it down what we need to install and download and install. So first, using the call command, let me explain all this. First, using the call command, I'm going to download the MariaDB repo, and then using this bash command, bash and repo, I'm just setting off which version do I need to install, okay, and then clearing out the cache. After then, we are just going to install the MariaDB server and the DB client. So let me just do the step by step and you can see how it is going through. Okay, let me copy the entire line. Okay, so if I go ahead and just go to your terminal, just paste it here. Okay, so what happened here, I am into the, if you can see here, I am into the UI, the Apache HTTP server root directory. So it is not allowing to write here, so that's why it is failed. So what I can do, go to my parent directory. Okay, from there I can just use call command to download. So if I can see here, see the MariaDB underscore repo underscore setup has been downloaded. Okay, now what we can do, we can simply copy the second line to update the repo using the version 10.7. okay, so I'm going to use the version 10.7. so hit enter. Okay, so what happened here, I think there is a space over, extra space over here. Okay, that's why it did not work. Let me copy this, paste it here, and 7. okay, hit enter. Okay, cool. So what happened here, it is just updated the version and checked the MariaDB server version 10.7 is valid. Okay, so what happened, repository file successfully returned to this mariadb.repo. Now what is saying, just now we can just clean the cache if you want. So just copy all these command, use sudo cleanup. Okay, so after that what we can do, we can simply install the MariaDB server and the client. Okay, so to install that one, what we can do, we can simply use, let me clear the screen, we can use sudo yum install MariaDB server. Also let me install the MariaDB client. Okay, yes, hit enter. Now we can see here it is just extracting all the informations here and then it's trying to install. Okay, now we can see the dependencies installed. Okay, here are the details installed as part of this command. Okay, we can see the MariaDB client, this version, and MariaDB server, this version has been installed. Okay, fine. So now what we can do, as we can see, our database, MariaDB database has been installed. Okay, now what we can do, we have to set up the root user ID and password. Okay, so what we can do, we can just, before that we have to enable the MariaDB. Okay, the service, MariaDB service we have to enable. So what the command we have to use, simply use sudo systemctl enable -- now MariaDB. Okay, so the MariaDB, what it says, created symbolic link for that. That means MariaDB service has now been started. So if we can go ahead and check whether this service has been running or not, we can use systemctl status MariaDB. Here it is. It says active and running. Okay. Now, what we can do, we can set off the root user and password. So we have to use the command called MariaDB-secure installations command. Okay. So let's go ahead and paste it here. So what happened here? Enter the current password for root, enter for none. Okay, there is no password set up. So using yes socket, change the root password, yes. So now we can change the root password. So let me set up a root password. Remove anonymous user. Yes, whatever the users we have, just remove it. Disallow root login remotely. No. Yes, the tester database I don't need, so just remove it. Reload the privileges table now. Yes. Okay. So what we can say, thanks for using MariaDB. So our MariaDB has successfully been set up. How we can access the database? So let's see. So we can use the command called MySQL. Okay, let me clear the screen first. You can use MySQL -u. So the user is root -p. So it will ask for the password. So keep the password what you had set up. Okay, here it is. Now we can see we can able to access to the MariaDB database. Okay, we can see here it says MariaDB none, that means no database has been chosen now. So we can see what are the databases being available now. We can use command called so databases. So databases. So here it is. These are the databases available. Now let me create one database. So we can use simple create database, then database name. Suppose I'll give MB database. Okay, MB database. Okay, so our database has now been created. Let's see whether it is created or not. So databases, we can see here our database MB database has been created. Okay, now what we can do, we can create a table. Okay, so to use the MB database, we can use the command use MB database. Now database has been changed. You can see here it comes MB database. Okay, now what you can do, let's create a table. Okay, what is the command to create table? You can use create table, give a table name. Okay, so what is the table name? Suppose I'll give tutorials underscore table. Okay, the details here. Suppose I need the tutorial ID, right? Tutorial underscore ID, and it should be integer, right? Give int, and suppose the tutorial name. Okay, so I can use tutorial underscore name. Sorry, tutorial, you can give tutorial underscore title. Okay, so it should be worker. Suppose I'll give 6 worker 20. Okay, now let's create tutorial author. Should be worker 20 colon. Okay, so what it says, so we can see whether the table has been created. It says 0 rows affected. Okay, so tables. Okay, now we can see here our table has been created, but there is no data inside now. So we can insert quickly some data here. So let's add some data here. We can use insert command here. Insert into, so table name, so it is tutorial underscore table. What is that? Tutorial underscore id comma. Let's copy this one, tutorial underscore title comma tutorial underscore author. Okay, name values. Okay, so here tutorial id, as it is integer, I'll give suppose 1, and the title, suppose I'll give it is as DevOps. Okay, DevOps, and I can give the author. So let me give my name here, suppose Ranjit. Hit enter. What it says, 1 rows affected. That means 1 rows inserted into the table. So let's see it. Select star from the table name. Here it is. Okay, so the data has successfully been inserted into the table. Now we can see how we can install the MariaDB, how we can set up the root user ID and password, and then how we can create databases and created tables into that. So everything has been done. Now let's move on and deploy our applications and access through the web server. Okay, let me come out from the database here. Great. Now I have let me go to other window, and I have a web applications created in my laptop. I want to transfer that web application or deploy that web applications to the newly created web server. Okay, so let me copy that one. So I'm going to use SQL copy to transfer the web applications, the entire content from my laptop to the remote web server. Okay, so I'm going to use -r. Okay, so it is contained in the folder called library. So the technician report is the folder where I have all the web applications available. Okay, now I'm going to copy to the newly created server. Copy the IP address here. Okay, everything has now been copied here. Now let me go to the server here. If we can see here, see the technician report, the web application has been copied. Now what I need that to be placed on the root directory of the web server. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, simply copy the entire content, okay, to var www/html. Okay, so if I go to this directory, check it here, we have the application available here now. So we need little bit changes to the applications in order to work. Okay, so what we can do, as we have our database installed and this application is required a login page at the first login. So what we need, suppose if you want to access the web applications, if we go here and just type here technician report, okay, so what it is saying, so access denied, because it is trying to log in the database first and then giving us the details to log in. Okay, now what says technician at the localhost is not available, so this user or this database user is not available. Okay, now what we can do, we have to set off the user ID. Okay, all this into the config.php parameter. So if we can go here to the server, we can see here in the technician report we have one called config.php. So in this config.php we have all the database related stuffs available, like the database name, host name, or the credential details available. So I'm going to change the credentials as per the database we have set up now. Okay, let me just open this. Okay, here you can see here the username is root and db password, but the password whatever we had set up during the root user ID password reset. Okay, this is the password was provided and the database name. This is the database which we had created. All the informations I put it here. Okay, now just update this file. If I go ahead and refresh the page, let's see what is happening. Just reload the page. Cool. So here it is. We can now see our database is working perfectly. Our web server can able to load the applications and we can see the PHP code, everything is working fine. So what do we need next? We need the login credentials to log into the application. So that is up to you how you set up the credentials by writing the PHP code in your application. Okay, so you guys now all clear how we can install the Apache server, how we can install the PHP server and do the setups, then how we can install the MariaDB SQL server, and the entire LAMP stack has now been successfully installed and set up. Also we saw how we can deploy our web applications. Hope you understood clearly the entire LAMP stack procedure. If you have any doubt or any concerns, please do write in the comment section below. If you have not subscribed my channel yet, please do subscribe now so that you will get notified when I add more videos on automations. Thank you.